I'm Greg Weld. I'm a converged infrastructure engineer and I work for an analytics company. I'll be discussing NetApp All-Flash FAS. Primary use case that we have for NetApp's All-Flash FAS is for on-prem storage that we use for presenting LUNs, NFS, and CIF shares for servers for analytics, for ESX data stores. I think that some of the most valuable features of All-Flash is the speed, obviously. The integration with vCenter, being able to clone VMs instantly, being able to move data around quickly are extremely helpful for us. Using NetApp AFF has really improved our organization through the use of clusters especially. So previously we had migrated from EMC and we had a lot of difficulty moving data around, but now if we need to move it to any slower storage, we can move it with just a vol move within the cluster. And even moving data between clusters is extremely simple using SnapMirror. So just the mobility options for data in All-Flash FAS has been awesome. I think that AFF has really helped us be able to explore different technology initiatives because of the flexibility that it has, being able to fit it in as a puzzle piece to different products. Like any other solutions that we've looked at, a lot of times those vendors have integration directly into NetApp, which we haven't found with other storage providers, and so it's extremely helpful to have that tie-in. The user experience with AFF is much like others of NetApp's products, and so that's really fantastic. It's extremely familiar. It's very intuitive. You can find all of the features that you're looking for through the GUI. The CLI is tab complete so that if you aren't exactly sure what the syntax are, or syntax is for a command, you can just tab complete it, and makes it a lot easier than having to look up every single thing that you're trying to do and the way to do it. AFF has definitely helped us to improve performance. We have hybrid arrays as well so that we can have things that are on slower storage, but for the times that we need extremely fast storage, we can put it on AFF. We can use vvols if we need to have different tiers that automatically put things where they need to be. So it's really helped us to nail down performance problems when we need it, to put them in places to fix them by just having the extreme performance. Stability is fantastic. In the past, I've seen problems with ONTAP where we'd hit bugs and things, but since NetApp has changed their development schedule to every 6 months with a lot more scrutiny on their code and a lot more checking of their code before they include it, we've hit far less bugs and just have had extremely stable systems with solid performance all the time. The scalability is fantastic. Many times we have had to add capacity, and which included the compute power of the storage, and so we've just added HA pairs to the cluster, and it's extremely easy to migrate over to those. You can just do vol moves to get over to the new nodes, and then evict the old nodes from the cluster, and then the fact that you can scale up to 24 nodes gives you a great deal of scalability possibility. The tech support on AFF is fantastic. NetApp is amazing with getting you through difficult problems. When you call into global support, there's somebody that answers the phone quickly, and they're extremely helpful. We have other NetApp resources like our sales SEs and people that help us out, and so there's always somebody there to point you in the right direction and help you to get the solutions to the problems you need. I was not part of the initial setup at my current company. I was not involved in the actual connecting it to the public cloud. We do have our AFFs connect to cloud storage, but I wasn't part of the initial setup. Yeah, so the use case for AFF with the public cloud, it allows us burstability so that when we need additional capacity and speed instantly, especially if we need more and we haven't bought new nodes yet, then it allows us to burst into the cloud quickly. I have no idea. The thing is that NetApp's always got their eye on the new features and the new use cases for things before we even get to them. And so it's been pretty amazing that they'll come out with new features and we haven't even been thinking of, oh, this is a way that you might be able to use this in the future. I've been really excited about some of their other products like Snap Center, which is fantastic single pane of glass to be able to do snapshots and backups for anything in your environment as long as it involves NetApp. But for AFF itself, like, I don't have any suggestions of what I would be excited about seeing. I think that adding the support for REST APIs to AFF would be super handy. I think it's something that we've been waiting for a while, and so that would be fantastic. Yeah, so the total cost of ownership has definitely dropped because with dedupe compression and compaction always on, we're able to fit a whole lot more in a smaller amount of space and still provide more performance than we had before, so your total cost per gigabyte ends up being less by going to all flash. I think the setup and provisioning of enterprise apps depends a lot on the automation, which has been really fantastic integration, just being able to use things like WFA for provisioning, and so it has sped things up with the extra software that NetApp provides to be able to speed things along. I give AFF a 10 out of 1 to 10 because there's amazing features on it. It's extremely fast, it's extremely usable, and the support's fantastic. I don't have stats on ROI at my current company. I'm mostly involved in the decision making to evaluate the products and see how they work for the company, and I don't get involved in like the actual spend. There has been an amazing improvement on ROI due to rack space and power usage going to AFF, like A700Ss being so small and so efficient take up way less space per terabyte, and so that's a great improvement there. If a friend of mine was looking into AFF as a possibility for storage, I would tell them to look at all the features and positives and negatives of all the other storage vendors. In the past year, I've done an evaluation of a lot of different storage vendors and their features and their cost effectiveness of their products, and NetApp has come far ahead of all the others, and so don't just buy into somebody from NetApp telling you these are all the great things about it. Like, if you research all of the other companies and all of their offerings, I have no doubt that you decide that NetApp is the top provider, from the speed of their product to their flexibility to move into the cloud to their awesome support.